Hi everyone, it's Allie and I'm here to do your week ahead reading. It's been a few weeks. Guys, I feel like I start every video the same way. I don't know, it's super boring too, I'm sure. Yeah, but it's been energetically tough these last few weeks. I'm Canadian and you might have heard about Canada in the news. If you're not in Canada, that's probably pretty rare. But yeah, what can I say? Sorry, I have political views. There's a bunch of wingnuts at our capital who are largely being used by all kinds of outside forces under the pretense of protesting against mask and vaccine mandates that were already in the process of being lifted. So it's nonsense. The whole thing is just nonsense and dangerous nonsense at that. So I just haven't felt up to it. I don't know. I feel like I'm really pushing through some stuff. And I just have to try and focus on myself and not let it bother me and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm back this week. So today is the 13th of February. Oh my goodness, today's the 13th of February. Oh, I wonder if I should use like a more lovey deck. It's almost Valentine's Day. I don't really pay attention to Valentine's Day. I never have. I don't make a big fuss. I like to be surprised, right? Like what's the deal if you make it all just about one day? No, this deck's fine. I was thinking about getting Ethany's Love deck. I think that looks super cute. I just don't know if I have, I've got softer decks than this, but whatever. I pulled this one out. And I really wanted to use it because I've been working with it a bit. The Spolia Tarot. This is a tarot deck that I was really interested in, and I finally got it. And it's just taken me forever to get around to using it for some reason. Even though I really like it and I really like the process that went into making it. I listened to a whole podcast by the creators. Unfortunately, I do think it is now out of print. So it's Spolia. That's what the box looks like. And it's a massive deck. Like you can see, so this is the deck that I'm working with right now. And these are the cards I'm not working with because the deck comes with an astrological card for each of the astrological signs. And then 4 elemental cards, which I did leave in. I do like to have the elemental card turn up sometimes. Like, what is it if water just suddenly shows up to your reading? But I'm not really well versed enough in astrology to make a lot of sense out of the astrological cards. Maybe I'll get into that in my practice. I don't really feel called to it right now. Although when I see other people talk about it, it's super cool. And I had a cool astrology reading. A friend of mine gifted it to me. So that's pretty fun. But I don't know. I think I'm just in a bit of a stagnant place, you guys. And I really want to get back to it. I want to get back to my Everything I've Learned From series, which I think Spolia Tarot will be my next one after I've worked with it a little bit more. Maybe not my very next one. I'm deciding. You know what? I have another new deck, so maybe let me just pull that out. The Phenomena Oracle by Jessica Bott. So if we need an oracle pull with our cards today, we'll pull from that little deck. Although I've never pulled from it before. All right, so what do we need for this week coming up, cards? I hope, is anybody else feeling just dragged down? Is this just February? I don't know. It's a really hard deck to shuffle because it's so big. Not big in size. The cards I think are pretty much standard tarot. So of course I don't have one standard tarot deck nearby. Maybe a touch bigger, but there's just so many. Oh, well, you're coming out, I guess. Jumper. All right, let's get this done. Oh my God. Okay. So the cards we got this week, they all came up upright. No elementals in this reading. But we start with the Queen of Cups. This is a collage deck. I referred earlier to the fact that I really like the story behind this deck and that it was made by hand. I mean, obviously this is a mass production printing, but each individual art piece was cut and then pasted and then taken to Kinko's and... Hi, cat. So that's the Queen of Cups. And then, oh my Lord. You have this. Oh my god. Jeepers. The Six of Pentacles, which in this deck is the Six of Coins. And then the Ace of Swords. Okay, so there's a lot. Oh my god. You're such an attention hog, I tell you. Okay, so this to me is a really interesting reading. Yeah. I find this combination, oh my lord. Okay, you can sit down here, but stop headbutting me. I find this combination of the Queen of Cups and the Six of Coins really interesting, especially as the Six of Coins is depicted here, with lots of different hands handing out lots of different coins. Although we do also have a hand sort of with a chastising finger in the air and a scale, which is interesting. And one of the things I really like about the Six of Pentacles is the vast array of interpretations that you can have of that particular card, right? Is it an act of charity? Is it an act of performative charity? Like, oh, look at me, I'm helping. And in the, what's it called? I don't have the deck, but I just saw someone do a video about the Tarot of the New Vision. I think that's what it is, where you see the Waite-Smith images. Oh, gee, I'm so sorry. She hasn't been in here for hours. You see the cards, but from a different perspective. So like you see the magician from the back and you see the people who are sitting in front of him. And in the Six of Pentacles, you see the back of the person who's giving the coins to the two people who are depicted as kneeling. And his coat in the back is torn, which I think is such an interesting interpretation. Like, he's not the super rich benefactor just carelessly tossing his money out, right? Like, this is a really thoughtful act of giving and charity. And I'm not saying that that has to be the interpretation of the Six of Pentacles, but it's clearly the interpretation that that artist took to this card. And I really like it. And so I see this week as being really guided by our emotions, right? The Queen of Cups, who I think in many ways is more an emotional figure than the King of Cups. The King of Cups to me always looks a bit closed off. Do I have a Waite-Smith deck handy? Why don't I always have a Waite-Smith deck handy? And now there's a dog in here. Oh God. Anyway, you can look it up. But in the Waite-Smith, like, the Queen of Pentacles has got a foot in the water, but the King doesn't. He's up on his plinth and he's like a little bit removed from it, which can be a good thing, right? You're able to objectively view the emotions that are being presented to you and within yourself, as opposed to sort of getting into them. But to me, this Queen of Cups is like pure emotion. And I love this, that she is, like in this depiction, this is why I love this Spolia deck. Like, she is of the waves and she is also of the container. Like, it's all one. And we have like the beauty of the waves, the ferocity of the waves, like the whale there, like living within her emotion. And even the waves themselves, there's like a number of different, wave depictions in there. So like crashing surfs. And so this is a highly emotional week, and we are giving of ourselves. And it's so funny. I laughed at the beginning because I was just listening to a podcast this morning. It's a podcast. It's not really about anything I'm going to talk about, but it's about a high school and about lessons that kids learned at this particular high school. And one of the lessons they learned was that charity does not make you poor, right? Like, if you give money, and this is actually a teaching, an Islamic teaching from the Quran that they were discussing in their assembly at this particular school, that giving means that you will be given to, right? Like, it's this cyclical nature. And so we have this like give. And this is a really giving depiction of the card, because we've got the coins dropping into different hands and reaching out. Now, we do have this little finger holding the scales here and the balance. And to me, this is where the Ace of Swords comes in, right? So it's the ace, it's the beginning, but it's just like a little reminder not to be stingy about what you give, but where are you in all this giving? I wouldn't necessarily have, you can see another cat back there. I wouldn't necessarily have this interpretation if it weren't for this combination of the Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups and the Ace of Swords. And gosh, look at how they work together color-wise. Like they almost in this deck look like photo negatives of each other. The blue in the sword, and the little bit of black in the whale's tail, and then reversed. That's so cool. This is a great deck, you guys. But this idea of like, give freely, right? Give abundantly. Give of yourself, but just with that little thought about your self-preservation, right? So that you don't get taken advantage of and that you don't exhaust yourself emotionally, because the queen's there ready to like blow it all out. But that's not always the best way to emotional health. And if you blow it all out, then your consistency of being able to give is going to diminish, right? Like this delicate balance of passing from hand to hand to hand to hand, right? This like gentle cycle can't sustain itself, right? This sort of giving, this act of charity needs to also be sustainable. And it's interesting too, now that I think about it, that as we go into this week of like expectations and Valentine's Day and this emotional giving, which we should all be doing, right? And just valuing what that means. But do also just like make sure you aren't giving away so much of your emotion that it's draining you, and then it's going to deplete for the next cycle of giving. What a cool reading. This is a great deck. I don't even feel like we need an oracle card. I don't. How often do I say that? I just feel like the 3 cards come out and they're beautiful. So yeah, embrace that emotional side of you. All the depth, like the well that is this sea of emotion. Embrace it, but just don't lose yourself and keep yourself in your own mind. So happy Valentine's Day. I might make another video today if I can keep the light long enough. And otherwise, remember, I'll be back soon. Bye.